Good afternoon, everybody. It's Saturday, which can mean only one thing. It's time for some crafting. I'll wait till you're all here before I do anything. I'll have a drink of my coffee. I'll see if I can finish one this week. Hi, Karen. Hi, Jan. I'm just drinking. Hi, Benita. Hi, Chrissy. Right, I'm not going to start showing you anything. Hi, Lynn. Until we've got everybody else logged in and ready. A little bit different for you today. You should be packing your suitcase, Missy. Hi, Diane. So, some of us, i.e. not me, but my sister, have got time for holidays, which I find absolutely ridiculous. Hi, Diane. Right, so let's get cracking. There's quite a lot to do. I'm going to see if I can do this in under an hour, which is highly unlikely. Hi, Roz. Hi, everybody. Right, it's moving too quick for me now, so I'll try and catch up with you all later. Hi, Julia. You've already seen today's card. Are we expecting... No glittery balls and no glittery rims. It's very different. In fact, there are no flowers at all. Oh no, that's a lie. There are some in the stamps. Julia, I know, darling. I know. Yeah, she does need a holiday, Chrissy. But then so do we. Right, good afternoon, everybody. Right, so this is obviously going to be a really inspiring demo. This is as much as I've prepped. Hopefully the connection will be better than it was last week, because it was driving me mad last week. Oh, did you get it, Rose? Thank you. You're welcome. Hang on, there's just... as soon as I start this, why do loads of things pop up on my screen? Right, so this is what we've got. Hi, everybody. No flowers apart from what's included in the stamp. But wait, I'm going to show you the new stamps, but I'm going to be really quick. Right, so a little bit different to what we normally do, and I've thoroughly enjoyed making this card. So this is what we're going to do today. There's quite a bit to do on this card. I'll go through the stamps and everything before we start, and then that bit's done and we can just get cracking. Well, there are two flowers, but they're just not die cut flowers. They're stamped and cut out, look. So you've still got the dimension on there. Hi, Luzzie. Hi, Bev. No flowers. Everybody's... Now, there's a story there, because last night when I was showing Julia this, she said it needed a couple of flowers, and she suggested here and here, but when I put them on, it didn't look right. And in actual fact, I've loved the fact that... You remember when we did the ticket tape-tastic sentiments, and we did lots of cards that are not your normal style, and I think sometimes you need that as crafters. I know I need it every now and again. It's too easy for me to die cut 410 flowers and stick them on a card, but I'll send you my address and you're all right, Karen. I'll have a look later, Chuck. Hi, Alison. I don't get a chance to look at the messages all the time, but I do when I'm sat in an evening having a coffee. Anyway, so this is a little bit different to what we normally do. There's quite a lot on this, which is why I suggested you had a notepad, because I love this style. It's just not something I do all the time, but when I do it, I get so lost in it and so engrossed in it. I know, Anne. Well, you've got two lilies, look. And you know how everybody says mixed media, grungy and all that palaver. Well, I've always said this for years. I've always said you can make the grungy, in inverted commas, style quite pretty. So this is my take on... Hi, Ruth. This is my take of mixed media grungy in a card. So this is what we're going to do. There's quite a bit to do, so I'm going to show you the stamps first, and I'm going to whiz through the stamps, and I'm not showing you everything that's being released next week. I'm only going to show you the stamps. There's quite a bit next week. So the shows, oh god, I can't even remember what time I'm on. I think I'm on at 10 and 2 next Friday. So 10 o'clock is the launch of the Weekend Wow. We're calling it a weekend wow, but I don't think it's going to last a weekend, so you've been warned. Right, okay, so I've been doing these stamps for ages and ages and ages. They've taken me so long to do these, to get them right. So remember when we did the medley stamps, where you had the lighthouse and the I can't remember what they were, the military and those kind of medley stamps? Well, these are what I'm calling my Floramusica. So flora with the flowers, and all of them have got music featured somewhere. They're absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. Oh no, sorry, but I'm showing you these. I wouldn't normally show you a week ahead. And I just thought, because we're not going to get a Facebook Live next week, I thought I'd treat you and show you today. So this is obviously the dandelion medley. So your main focal image is the dandelions, and then you've got all the extra bits around it. These are all floral and musical, and I love this one. This is the hydrangeas. So you've got hydrangeas in there, and again featuring music. This is an amazing collection of stamps. I absolutely love them. Then you've got roses. I'm flicking through quickly because I don't want you to have some secrets. The iris, which I absolutely love. There you go. Then you've got the daisies, which is this one here, and we are using the daisies today. And then you have the lilies, which is the one that's on my card. So that's how it looks once it's stamped out, look. Yeah. So we're going to make a project with them. You will have noticed as well that there are 2 new sets of sentiments. Now I need you to do me a favour. So when you see these being used properly, Julia and I have been looking at these for a long time. I've called these Trioframe. So Trioframe obviously tells you what it is. You've got 3 different frames around them. Let me turn around so you can see. So you've got 3 different frames around each sentiment. So this is a different font to the Ticket Tape-tastic. However, I've designed them with being able to mix and match with the Ticket Tape-tastic sentiments as well. So when you get these home, you're going to be able to straight away completely change them by incorporating the Ticket Tape-tastic sentiments and mixing and matching. It's a different font, but it's similar. And all these 3 frames, you'll see when we get to the demo, all 3 of them can be cut out. So for every one of these stamps, you've got 3 different ways to use it. So 3 different ways to use the birthday, 3 for the just for you, and so on and so forth. So that is the essentials, which I have to do that because it's got the birthdays and everything in. And then the next one I've called Inspired Sentiment. And this is how I've created the sentiment for this. Hi Trudy. So freedom to, and then you can create whatever you want from that. So freedom to create colourful art, phenomenal art, sparkle, be beautiful, be gentle, be strong, and so on and so forth. They're amazing. Not next week, Bev. Not next week. So these are the new stamps that are coming next week. So they are your weekend wow. Whether they last a weekend is another matter. So I'm going to pop that to one side. I'm also using today, I don't know whether we've got any of these left. So you'd have to look on the website. These are the textured editions, and I think I did these with box kit number 2. If we did have any left over, sorry Marie, no you won't. If I did have any stock left over, it would be on the website available individually, so I would go and have a look quickly. So we're going to be using that one as well, particularly the crackle. So let's get cracking. There's quite a bit of new stuff next week, everybody. I'm sorry. I'm not really, because I like to keep things fresh. I like to keep things moving. Oops. You'll notice I've got a t-shirt on today. That's because when I was splatting last night, me and Julia were laughing. When I was splatting, putting little gesso splats on, my t-shirt were covered in it, so I thought I'm not wearing a shirt today. And then when I took my glasses off, my glasses were covered on it. Jean, these sentiments are amazing. The favour I was going to ask you, I forgot them. So I've only done 2 sets of these. I've only done these 2 sets. If you want me to do a full collection, the rest, like we did with Ticket Tape-tastic, let me know, and then I will do that. Then you'll have two completely mix and match sentiment sets, but you need to let me know whether to do them or not. So whether you want the relatives and the other sentiments and what have you. Yeah. Hang on, Bev. Hang on, Bev. That's all I'm saying. I might, if you remind me, Bev, at the end, I might tell you about that. Right, so we're going to start with the layers of card. So this is quite a big card. Whoops. I was wobbling. I know, Karen, I know. Do you know what? I might take a photo of this t-shirt later and show it you. It's covered in white paint. So this is quite a big card. So the base is 23. Oh, I forgot already. 23 by something. I forgot. Let me get a ruler. And do you know what? I did mentally try and remember, but obviously I'm too mental to remember. So let's see if I was right. See if it is 23, or it might be 23 and a half, knowing me. Oh, it's 23 and a half by 14 and a half. So 23 and a half by 14 and a half. Obviously there are no envelopes for that size of card, which you know I don't send them. I will give this one away. The one that I'm making today I will give away, but not until after my shows, because I'm going to use it as one of my samples. The card that I've made, that we're going to make today, I'm going to try and do with all 6 of the Floramusica stamps. So we've got the top piece, and I'm going to go through about 6 rolls of kitchen roll with this, because I clean as I go, as you know. Just make some space. Now when I did the original card I used the stamping platform, but because we're stamping in 3 different places, it meant that I had to clean the stamp every time so that I could pick it up, and move it. Otherwise I would get filthy, and I'm not going to do that. I only do filthy once a month. I did, Julia. I absolutely did. I had it on all day yesterday. I might put it on eBay later. So I'm going to do this on my rectangle block when I find it. So remember, my rectangle, they come in a set of 3, don't they, these? They will fit all my medley stamps. Let's just get that more central. As I use things, I'll go through what I'm using just to keep you in the loop. So we're stamping with VersaFine, and I'm kind of doing this from the bottom up. So I'm doing the stamp as my base, and I'm going to turn it on its side actually, because I find stamping on the side easier. Let me just turn that round while we do this. So one of the things I wanted to show you was how you can make a rectangle, an A6 size stamp fill a bigger space. Hi Ronnie, hi everybody I've not spoken to already. Let's just put that on there. So obviously I want to fill this whole space. So what I did when I did the original, you probably can't see that, but you've got the main image in the middle, which is what I tried to do. And then you've got the extras underneath the bordered eyes. So I'll show you how I did that. It's easy peasy. Right, here we go. So VersaFine, absolute must have. It feels like ages since I was at Ochanda, but I'm there for 2 days next week. So I'm on Friday and Saturday, and then Julia takes over for the last day of the weekend wow, if there's anything left. The last day of the weekend wow on Sunday. I honestly can't remember the times, but I'll put them on the Facebook page when I remember. Right, so I'm trying to now I'm ignoring everything around me. I'm just trying to get the daisies in the middle. So I'm just shoving my head above it. So the daisies look like they're somewhere in the middle, and then we'll stamp that. Wait till you see how much detail are in these stamps. It's blowing a gale here. Benita. Oh, I mean, look at that. I'm just going to show you that before we move on. How stunning is that? That's just absolutely gorgeous. I know somebody else has asked me for aprons, Julia. I'll have to get Alison on it. Alison's my fabric lady. So what we're going to do now is we're going to stamp the stamp again, but this time I'll either move it up or move it down so the daisies are in a slightly different position. What do you reckon? Do you think we'll get this done in an hour and a half? I ain't even started yet. One of the things that's really good about these stamps is they're really forgiving. So if you miss a bit, it doesn't matter, nobody will care. So I'm going to bring this daisy, I'll go up, so I'm going right to the very edge. Right to the very edge of the card, of the stamp. You'd laugh at the conversations me and Julia have. Look at that, look. Oh, it's just so beautiful. And then we're going to do the top one. So this time I need to stamp further away. It's a lot easier to do this on the block, I find, rather than with the platform. If you don't care about getting your fingers dirty, you could do it on the platform and just keep moving the stamp. Oops, nearly. Nearly. So this time, I did ink the right side, didn't I? Yeah. So this time we'll go down. That's my stomach rumbling before we even start. Oh, that's just beautiful. So what we've done now, look, is we've created a full sheet from one A6 stamp. Hey Lozzie, that's a cracking idea. Who's just said first time on a... I just saw somebody saying it's the first time. Oh, hi Jocelyn. Good luck trying to decipher all my words. So I'm just going to pop that to one side while I clean the stamp. Because you know I don't want a dirty stamp. Yeah, I saw your message, Chrissy. It's fine. You'll just have to catch up later. What do you reckon, Julia? I could see Julia on Ho Chanda wearing a penny with my face all over it. I think that'd be amazing. Oh, I think that's a fab idea. Alright, here we go. So I'll just put that to dry. I've had my hair cut 3 times. Yeah, you could just move the paper, Jean. Yeah, I tried that, but the line between the 2 stamps was too wide. I couldn't see properly. You might be able to, but I couldn't do it. It drove me mad, so I ended up starting again. Right, here we go. So we're now good to go. So this will be dry now. So what we're going to do now is add some layers of colour. Now, oops, here we go. So normally I would get my distress inks or my distress oxides or whatever ink pad I'm using, and as you know, I would normally do this to add the colour. Yeah. Seen you on TV, Phill. I'm been to your shop. Oh well, I'm glad you found us on Facebook, Jocelyn. I would normally do that with the colour, but we're not today. So are you ready for the colours? Because this is different to what I used on the original card. So these are the 3 inks that we're using today. We're using Picked Raspberry, we're using Peacock Feathers, and we're using Picket Fence, which is the white one I told you. There are 2 hours. There's 2 hours on Friday, 2 hours on Saturday, and 2 hours on Sunday, but I honestly can't remember what they are. So what we're going to do is use the Brayers. Now my Brayers are filthy now, look. Yeah, absolutely filthy. But do you know what? I've got two brand new ones that are sitting lovely and clean in the cupboard next to me. And we're going to add colour with the Brayer. So what this does is it makes it look, can you see how it's, you've still got some little white areas, it looks patchy and it looks mottled. So you wouldn't get, let me bring it in a bit closer, you wouldn't get that kind of effect from doing it with the smoothie sponges. Chrissy, that's amazing. That's amazing. Oh yeah, so you wouldn't get that kind of lovely mottled blotchy look from using sponges. So this is why I suggested when we did the Brayers that we have the 6" and the 4". I'm using the 6" for this just because I can cover a bigger area. And what I'm doing is I'm not trying to be neat, look, with the ink. I'm purposefully making it patchy. So rather than trying to get a lovely smooth finish from this, I'm purposefully making it scratchy and patchy. And I'm just going to roll over. So already, look, from one colour, we've got quite a bit of colour going on there. I'm going to add a little bit more actually around the edges. This is why we needed a 6". I told you, everybody. Look how easy that was. Trudy likes a bit of both. Oh, you're awesome, you lot. Right, so I'm going to clean that now. So as opposed to maybe Leone or whatever, where you just leave them dirty, I clean it in between each colour. Because I don't, although I'm using two colours, I want to keep the two colours separate. So I am cleaning. The white that you can see on here is gesso, by the way. It's not staining anything, but it's just there. Oh, Lynn, have a go at this, what I'm doing today. Because this is, it's like they always say, don't they? Everybody says it now. It's all about the layers. And it absolutely is. But this, by the time we've done with this, it will look really, really pretty. Hi, Heather. But you absolutely can't, no, somebody asked me on Facebook. I mean, I did the two sizes. Remember I told you, I did two sizes. So if you're doing larger areas, you can use your 6". And if you're doing smaller areas, or you just want more detail, you can do it with the 4" one. But if I had to choose which one to have, of course, I'm going to say, yeah, they're on the website, Jackie. If you have to choose one, it would be the 6" one. Right, so what we're going to do now is turn that around, and we're going to go in with the other colour, the peacock feathers. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing. So these colours are obviously a lot stronger than the two that I used on the original card. Look at that, look. How gorgeous is that? Peacock feathers and picked raspberry is just a marriage made in heaven. That just looks gorgeous. I'm not even going to do any more to that. I lied to you. I'm just going to do a little bit more on the edges. That's just gorgeous. And you know what I'm doing with the Brayer? I'm cleaning it. And then I'll bring that in and show you properly. You can just leave your Brayer and run it under the tap afterwards. Oh. Right, so we're done with the Brayer for now. So just leave that there. Just dry that. All the staining doesn't matter. It's not going to do anything to the finish, or it's not going to harm anything. So you know, when I'm on TV next Friday, I might demo this again actually, but do it slightly different. And you know, when I say 6-incher, you all know what I'm talking about. It's hard, Heather, it's hard. So when I was looking at Brayers, obviously I've got a speedball Brayer. Well, I've got about 3, and I've had the speedball Brayer for years. But you remember when you saw me demoing the inks on the embossing folder, on the embossed cardstock, the hard red rubber is better, I feel, for it than the soft one. So if I had to choose, it would always be a hard one. That's all I'm saying. Right, so let's now get some gesso on this and some paint. So what we're using now is, these are acrylic paints from Cosmic Shimmer, and we've got this lovely, it's called Sea Turtle. Look, you can see where I've took it from. I nicked it out of the shop. I took all the colours. So these are opaque acrylic paints, which means that you will still see what's underneath it. So we'll get layers of colour. You'll get layers of colour, but it'll just subtly dull what's behind it rather than cover it up. And these colours are absolutely gorgeous. And then I've got indigo blue gesso. Now I don't sell the indigo blue gesso, but Julia does. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I was using a different gesso last night. I'm not going to tell you whose it was, and it was bloody rubbish. And then I got my indigo blue one out, and it's fabulous. Yeah, it's fabulous, fabulous, fabulous stuff. So clearly, quality pays. So let me bring that in and let you see that before we start adding any more. So they're the 2 colours we've got. The peacock feathers and the picked raspberry. Yeah, and we're now going to go in with some acrylic paint. If you haven't done this, just treat yourself to a couple of colours. It's only a £5 and it's going to last forever. The way I use it, it's going to last you forever. So you can see I've left my seal on, because I'm literally going to use a bit from the lid. It's only because I don't like mess, you know what I'm like. And what I'm going to do is take my dirty bit of kitchen roll. So this is the kitchen roll I've been using to dry my brayer. Yeah, and I'm literally just going to pat around the edges. So I'm putting it on my kitchen roll. I'm going to tap off the excess, and I'm literally just going to pat. You'll have to bear with me now, because I can't look at the screen while I'm doing this. So by doing it with the kitchen roll, what we're getting is a random little bit of texture going on. That's far too much, Phill. Trust me, it will be fine when I've finished. I think that's enough with that colour. Now you know the only reason I'm using that is because I know it wipes straight off. See what I mean? I told you it's nice to do something different. So we've done with that for now. And we're going to go to the pink one, which is called Samba Pink. And this is a gorgeous... I'm not even going to reply to that, Bev. So Samba Pink is a gorgeous, gorgeous bright fuchsia pink. And it's perfect with picked raspberry, as you can see. I'm just cleaning my tweezers, because you know I can't have dirty tweezers. So I'm doing the same thing again. So although these colours look quite strong, by the time I've done, they won't. It's so easy to do this. So easy. What you can't see from the screen, I'll try and show you a little close up in a minute. But what you can't see from the screen is the bits of texture that this gives you. So let's just put that there. So let me just show you. So can you see you get a little bit of texture from this? Yeah. So I'm just going to put that to one side and let that dry for a second. It dries in a minute or two. And while we're waiting for that, I'm going to clean my fingers. Diane, only a couple of minutes. The white cardstock I'm using is my premium white cardstock, pure white. It's the only card I use. Yeah, it is. Mixed media is only a couple of. It's only using using a couple of different products. That's all mixed media means. So let's get rid of that because that's too dirty for me now. And while we wait for that, we will get the stamped images done again because I forgot to do it when my stamp was dirty. It's worth treating yourself, if you haven't already got one, it's worth treating yourself to one of the brown craft sheets because everything just wipes off that. So I've got myself a little bit of scrap card and I should have done this at the beginning, I forgot. I need to just stamp the daisies again because we're going to cut them out. I only need the daisies so that we can decoupage. Oops. There are elements in all of these new stamps that you can pick out and decoupage. That's the only thing with VersaFine, look, that I don't like. You can never get them 100% clean. But that's why I have two. It's gone really overcast here. Right, so while the acrylic paint's still drying, we're going to watercolour this with the set 3 pens. That's almost dry now. It's only that bit at the bottom that's not dry fully. So by the time we've done, it will be 100% dry. And I promise you it won't look as dark as that when we've finished. So I now need a bright pink and a lovely olive green. So I can't tell you which set these are from. I don't know whether I told you. I've put mine all into colour groups. So I can't tell you which set it is. So green, pink, and let's have a nice turquoisey. Let's have a nice turquoisey colour as well, just because we can. So I've got my water brush here. Hopefully that's dry. It is. So I'm just going over the whole thing like I usually do with water. I'm not cutting the stem out, I'm only cutting the daisy heads out. Just pop some pink on there and we'll colour this in. Of course I've picked the daisy, which is the hardest one to cut out. Don't need to worry about the lines because it's going to be cut out. So we've got a base colour down. Look how quick I'm doing this. So the base colour is down. I'll bring it in and show you in a second. And I'm just going to go in direct with the pen at the base of each petal. Just so we can get a bit of stronger colour. I've got to do a decent job because you're going to see this on Ho Chanda next week. And then I'll just bleed those two together. I'll bring it in and show you in a second. So remember, I always tell you, when you're doing this part, your instinct is to keep going over it, but the more you go over it, the more you're going to dilute the colour. So just do it a couple of times and then leave it to dry in a bit, and then see how it's faded, because it will blend automatically for you. Can you see that? You saw how quickly I did that. And we're going to be really leery, and we're going to have a turquoisey greeny blue for the middle, just because we can, and it will match the colours. So I'm just going to test this to make sure it's the right colour. Oops. I don't think that's a bad match. Oops. Obviously you can colour them in whatever colour you want. And whilst it's still wet, I'm going to go direct with the pen. And then pick up the colour from the mat and just blend the two together. Job done. I might just add a bit more to that. That's better. Okay, so while that's drying, we'll just pop that to one side. We're going to go back to the image. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to colour some of the elements in here. So on the original card, can you see where I've coloured in? Yep, so this is exactly the same way as I did that. I've covered everything with ink and everything, and we're going to go over the top on some of the little elements direct with the pens, and then we're going to gesso over the whole top of it. Knock it back is what Leonie calls it. Knocking back the colour. So let's just see which bits we're going to see. So we'll colour this one in. So I'm not doing any shade into this. I'm just literally adding some colour to it. I'm just trying to find some bits to colour. I'm humming. I'll do a couple of these little hexagons. Just looking at my card, because my card will show me, look, the bits that we're going to see the most. Okay, and then we'll do the same with the turquoise colour, and then I'll colour the stems in. So the only reason I'm doing this is it brings the colours together, and it brings the whole project together towards the end. I told you, you don't need to worry about blending or shading. All we're doing is adding colour. Doesn't need to be neat, because you won't see it in a minute. Do you think that's enough? I'm going to have to do the B. Sorry. So where's my lovely dark orange? There you are. I am going to do this with water though, because orange isn't in the card, but the B needs to be orange, otherwise it won't look right. Okay, so that will do for that, and then we'll just do the stems of the daisy. Sorry, you know I'm going to go quiet when I'm colouring. Sorry everybody. I'm not going to colour the rest of the daisies in, because they don't need to be. You won't see that, and you won't see that. Right, so that's where we're at. So now obviously we need to reduce some of the colour in this, and the way to do that is with two different things. We're going to do it with the Picket Fence Distress Ink. So Picket Fence is the white distress ink. I don't know where I've put my lid. Hang on. So Picket Fence is the white one. Now it's an opaque ink, so what it does, again, the same as the paints, you can still see basically what's underneath it. You can still see what's underneath it, but it will just soften the colours for us. So let's go, and I'm using my 4-incher for this. So we've got patchy ink going on, and we're going straight over the top. So if let me just do a bit more on this side, and then I'll show you. So can you see that? So can you see it's a lot softer now? It's a lot duller on this side than it is on that side. And you can just keep building this up until you've knocked it back, as they say, as much as you want. It just softens the whole thing, which is really pretty. There isn't a white Oxide ink, Lynn. I will try and answer all your questions later. Hi Lynn, Lorraine even. I will try and answer all your questions later, but obviously there's still loads to do. So there isn't a white Distress Oxide, so it does need to be the Picket Fence Distress ink for now. I don't know whether he's going to do one. He should do, really, because I think it's a bit selfish. So I'm quite happy with that. Okay, and I can just run that under the tap. I'll leave that one for now. And then we're on to the gesso. Right, let me just show you that. You can see how much softer it makes the colours. I suppose you could, Stephanie, yeah, you just need to make sure you don't use you don't use too much, because if you're brayering with paints, obviously you've got to pick it up like this, and you need to make sure it's a really thin coating. Right, so I'm not going to brayer this. This is the gesso, and I'm going back to my tissue. So I'm going to do two different things with the gesso before I cut out the daisies that I've just done. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm taking off the excess, and I'm just going around the edge. The thing that I like about gesso, can you see what it's done to that corner? Look, that lovely shabby chic finish that everybody's always looking for. Yeah, it's white, but it's like a see-through white. It's just fab. So let's just get a bit more going on. You can see why I've enjoyed this, can't you? It's just so different to what I would normally do, but sometimes that's a good thing. And I'm going to stop at that because that looks really rather pretty. He says he's going to stop, and then he does a bit more. How fab is that? Look, it's gorgeous, isn't it? Oh, Sonia, I've done scrapbooks for years. I've got a few that I've done. This is what I'm saying, you get into your comfort zone, but I think it's good to be challenged, and I've done this before. I've done pretty grungy before. It's just that if I did this all the time, I'd get bored, because for me this is a quick project. Think about how long it takes me normally when I'm changing, when I'm die cutting hundreds of flowers and everything. This is why this is quicker, but it looks fab. Okay, so we're now going to do a little bit of flicking with the gesso. So I'm going to cover my desk up, knowing what happened on my other desk last night, and I'll be covered in it, so if I have to take my glasses off, just get a acrylic block. So I'm just using my little acrylic block, look. And I'm going to put some of the gesso when I find the one that I've been using. That'll do. But I don't need that. I'll do it with a brush. So I've got two little brushes here. And we're going to take some. This is the one I'm going to use to flick with. So me and Julia were talking last night, and I've ordered some of the fan shaped brushes. I was hoping they'd be here by now, but they're not. So I'm just going to squeeze some water out my water brush onto this acrylic block. Not too much, because I still want it to stay white. I'm going to mix the gesso in with that, and don't worry, it will wipe off. I use my pen actually, so I'm just going to add a couple of little splats now, and I've already felt it going on my face. So I'm hoping when my lovely fan brushes come that it will be easier than this. Luckily it wipes off because it's water based, and I think that's enough. Look, can you see the little white splats? I'm not going to do any more because I'll be absolutely covered in it. I look like a painter and a decorator. Yeah, you could use an old paintbrush, a toothbrush, yeah, absolutely. There's all sorts of ways you can do this. Yeah. So that'll do for that. I'm not going to cover myself in it any more than I have done. You can use them pens as well. Julia, have you got any of the pens? Them Posca pens that Leonie uses? I've ordered myself some this morning. I need to stop looking at things because I spend too much money. So that's clean now, look. And I will be in a minute. I better just wipe that out. What, the pens will go everywhere? Oh, with the toothbrush you mean? Yeah, it will go everywhere. But it'll be quicker. Right. So let's get rid of this one. And let's get back to this card. Let me show you how much kitchen roll. Look, this is how much kitchen roll I've used so far. I should have shares. I should have shares in it. Right, so I'm just going to leave that to settle a bit now. It's actually pretty perfect. I'm really happy with the way that looks. Yeah, so I'm going to pop that out of the way. Oh, my slippers come off. Where are you? And I'm going to leave these daisies as they are, apart from going over them with the picket fence. So the picket fence, look, has just added a little bit of, let's see if you can see that. It's just added a little bit of white paint on there. We are going to use that to stamp with in a minute. I'm not going to stamp with the gesso. I'm not going to stamp with the gesso because it's just too messy and I can't be bothered. So I'm just have a drink. I'm just going to quickly cut these daisies out, so if somebody was here I'd have told you to make a drink. But I'll make do with the one I've got. I could have done this already, in actual fact, when I did the lily card last night, I did cut 2 spare lilies, but then I decided I wanted to do the daisy this morning. So if I'd have just done the lilies, I would have already had this bit done. And I hate fussy cutting. I'm the worst cutter outer. So this might look a little bit jagged. I need to teach Rufus how to cut out. So the reason I've done the daisy separate to the stamp, well, you'll see in a minute, because what now will happen is that this will become the focal point of the card. This is the bit that you will be drawn to first. What did I say? I'm going to get this done in less than an hour. I don't think that's going to happen. Come on, scissors. Hey, that's not bad for quick cutting out, is it? It's not too bad at all. Oh, Rufus is in the garden, Sonia. Right, so I'll just do the other one quick. It is all coming together, slowly but surely. We're doing all the technical bits, and then it's just assembly. Phill has been nominated for Crafting Man of the Year in the Craft Beautiful Awards. Don't know if voting is open yet, but I'm sure he'd love to. Ah, they've not They've told you, but they haven't told me. So I'm literally just doing this one quickly because it's a smaller daisy. I'd quite like to glossy accents this, but I'm not sure if glossy accents will change the colour of the inks underneath it. So I didn't risk it. If I get more time at some point, I might just try it and see what happens. Because sometimes glossy accents dilutes or bleeds out the colour of the inks underneath it. I was going to say something really political then, but I've changed my mind. I'll tell you later, Julia. I'll try and be good. I'll try and be good. Right, so we've now got our two little daisies cut out. So I'm just going to pop those to one side. And we'll come back to the stamp now. So before we start the assembly, we need to add some little bits of texture. And these stamps, they're just perfect for this. So on the original card, which I've put somewhere out of the way, I used the crackle there. I'll just bring it in and show you. So I stamped it with gesso last night. Yeah, so there's little bits of crackle everywhere under there, little bits of texture. I'm not going to stamp with gesso this time, and I'm going to use this one. I'm just going to stamp with the picket fence. So because the picket fence is translucent, you won't see much of this. But it's one of those things that you see when you're not looking. I'll bring it in and show you in a second. That's fab. So can you see, look? Oh, you probably can't see it on this screen. I can see it, but you probably can't. But that'll do, that'll do. If I'd have done it in the gesso, we would have got texture. And if I'd have stamped it with texture paste as well, if I'd have stamped it in white texture paste, we'd have got the same effect as well. A textured effect as well. Right, so what am I doing now? Now we're going to do the dots and dashes around this. So on the original one, look, I've got some little dots and dashes going around the edge. I'm going to do this first because the sentiment is going to be the last thing I do on this. So I'm using an archival, what do they call them? Pigma Micron. I'm using an archival one. So these come in a pack of 3. They are on the website. They come in a pack of 3, and you see the sizes on the end. So 2, 4, 8. So 2 being the smallest nib, 4 medium, and then 8 obviously is the biggest nib. I'm going to go with the 4, which is the medium one. So the reason you need these instead of just an ordinary black fine tip pen is that these are archival ink. So if I wanted to go over the top of here, I could. So if I wanted to I'm not going to do it, but if I wanted to highlight some areas, we could do that with this and it would go over the top. But I'm just going to go around the edge. What did I do on that one? Dot and dash. So I'll just quickly do, I'll do this one slightly different. I'm not worried about it being perfect. It's not meant to be. Well, at least I've made this one from start to finish. We started with plain black and white cardstock. Little tip for you when you get to the ends there, because I always do it. I always run out of space on one of the corners. and then you can fix it. You can make it fit. So there's a couple of things we need to do now to get this done. I'm going to stick this together, and then I'm going to show you the borders, which I'm sure you've spotted out the corner of your eye. Oh, forgot to do it on that corner, but that was lucky. Now, I was talking to Julia last night, and on the original card I've used my super fine glitters, which most of you will know I tend to use Diamond Dazzle. Diamond Dazzle is the one that I've used the most. But if I bring that in close, I don't know whether you can see that, it's got a pink tint. So this was the pink blush that I used. And I just thought the super fine glitters would be really good for this. So this one, look, is Blue Mist. So we've got turquoise blues featured in there. So the Blue Mist glitter will be perfect. So it's really, really subtle. It's really, really subtle, but it's a nice finish. So we'll do that in a sec. So let's get these layered up. So this is going on, you guessed it, foam tape. And I'll try and do this quickly. I can't see what anybody's saying. I'll have a look in a sec. If I don't carry on with this, we'll be here till 3 o'clock. So let's get this on. I'm just going to bring it towards me a sec. You don't want to see my messy hair again. Okay, so we've got that on there. What we're going to do now is these are new border dies that are also coming next Friday, and I'm purposefully not going to show you the dies because it's not just what you see here, but I'm keeping it to show you when I launch on Friday morning. Okay, so this is obviously going to go on the edge, and I'm doing this before I stick it to the next black layer. So one of the things you've probably noticed is we've got that lovely double deboss detail going on the end. So we've got two choices with these dies. We can either go right to the edge, which I'm just going to see how it looks. So we can go right to the edge, and I actually quite like that, so I think that's what I'm going to do. Or we can come further in and take the double deboss section off and just have the diamonds on the edge, which is what I did with the other one. So the other one, look, I've took the double debossed edge off there. Yeah, but I'm going to leave it on here. So move my kitchen roll, bit of glue, and I've just got to line it up. Well, you know that's going to happen, don't you? You just know it's going to be blocked every week. But so is the other one. Where's my pen? You could put money on this. Every week the glue is going to be blocked up, and I was using it last night. Just press the buttons down on the bottom right. I don't know what you're talking about. Press the buttons down on the bottom right. Oops. I think that's well poked. What are you talking about? Go and do that after you've watched me. Don't do it while you're on with me. Right, so I'm putting some glue on the outer edge and just a bit on the inner edge. And I'm purposefully not going to the tips of the diamonds because I want to be able to poke them up. So let's just see where that is central. So that looks pretty central to me. Hang on, I can't see sideways. Nope, it's not central. It will be in a minute. That's central, so I'm just going to hold that. No, David, 3. There are 3 sets, but they're not just, you know me well enough to know that it's not going to be just border dies. No way, Jose. And we'll just do the other one. And I'll just go here. The other one's actually easier to line up than the diamond. But as long as you've got patience, you'll be absolutely fine. So all I've done is I've secured this at the edge, which now means that I can poke up the little, I can just poke up the little diamonds at the end. I'm just getting my big scissors, hang on. And I'll do this from the underneath. Oops. Oh, look at that. How gorgeous is that? Is that not? So this is why I didn't stick it at the edges, look, because I want the little bit of dimension coming from that. You should see the state of my desk. It's going to take me ages to clear up. Bit of gesso. Oh, David, you are sneaky trying to get me to tell you everything that's coming next Friday, but you can wait till next Friday. I've shown you the stamps. There is a lot of poking going on, Jean. Right, so this is going on the black with glue, and we'll do the sentiments. So I want to show you how I did the sentiments to match. So I'm going to just pop that on here and stick it under my mat to be drying. Oh, well, my new rug came the other, when did it come? Yesterday, day before, I can't remember. Julia will know. And I've just about finished organising in my new room. Well, it's not a new room, I've just had a new desk and more shelves. I can't even flip the camera around. I'm just going to see if I can flip this to show you my cardstock. Oh, it's upside down, but you can see where all my card is. Look there. Oh, where are we? Oh, that's confusing me. Can you see I've got all my coloured cardstock? I'll take some proper pictures for you. Sorry everybody, that's just made everybody seasick. I'll take some proper photos. Right, so that is underneath there now. So I've got some scrap card here, and you can see how I did the sentiments from last time. We're going to use the 2 inks, and we're just going to do the little bit of dabbing with the smoothies. So I'm going on with the pink one first, and then we'll go in with the peacock feathers. And I'm not trying to cover the whole thing. I don't actually mind a little bit of white space on there. This is a really good way to use up your scraps of cardstock as well, which is what I've done. I'm going to rub that over with my kitchen roll, apart from that bit of water. So we've now got a softer, ignore that, now got a softer two-tone. Yeah, and we're going to get the sentiments. Oops, hang on. Here they are. And we're going to do, so on the original card I've got freedom to be beautiful. So on this one we're going to have freedom to bloom. And we'll do it all in one go. So freedom to, you don't have to use that, you can just use the words on their own as well. But I love that we've got interactive sentiments again. So freedom to bloom, or freedom to be happy. Yeah, let's have that. Freedom to be happy. I like that. So I've just popped them all on one block. You've obviously got loads and loads of choices with these. Loads. So I'm going to stamp straight over that with the VersaFine Onyx Black. I don't need to worry about it being straight because I'm going to cut them out. Just make sure I can get it on where there's no water. Oh, they're just gorgeous, aren't they? I'm going to clean that because I have to have my sentiment stamps clean. So that can go there for now, out the way. And then we'll cut this out. Right, so let me try and show you this. You might as well get a little heads up before. So oh, that was lucky, I've just missed that, look. So what we've got here, look, are 3 different frames. So you've got the outer, I love this. You've got the outer one that we could cut out, which I will do for the, I'll do that for the top word. The sentiment is straight on all of them. So you've got the outer frame, you've then got the black frame, so that's 2 different ways. And then you've got the inner frame, so that's 3 different ways to use every one of these stamps. So I'm just going to cut them out. And I'm going to do the freedom to, what did I do on the original? Right, so on the original, look. On the original, I've used the black frame. Yep, and then on the B, I've used the outer frame. So we've got that lovely diamondy shape. And then on the beautiful, I've used all 3. So 3 different, that's just one stamp set. I think that's really clever. These are Julia, what are these? The Tim Holtz ones, I know that much. I can't remember what they're called. But I've had them for years. So I'm cutting the whole outer frame out with these. And you can see how easy it is. And you can see how these are going to work with your ticket tape stamps. Don't forget, if you weren't here at the beginning when I asked everybody, you need to let me know if you want the rest of the collection for these. Look at that. I just think that's gorgeous. So we'll do the B with the black frame. So I'm ignoring the outer frame and I'm just using the black border this time. So this is a different look. If I can get my scissors in. Of course, I've stamped them really close together. I've just realised there are actually, I think there are 4 ways you can do this. I'm going to save that. So we've now created a different look again. Yeah. And then on the last one, on the happy, I'm literally just going to cut out the straight one, the outer frame. Oops. Oh, I've got the wrong one now. I've got the wrong one, not to worry. Not to worry. Hey, that's fine. Do you know what? You know when you get these home, tell me how many different ways you can use them. Because I've just counted now 5. And that's before I even start looking at them properly. So I'll just get rid of all that. Okay. The desk is covered in rubbish. And I'm going to give these a white frame because I want something to put the glitter on. So I'm just going to glue these on. I bet we're an hour and a half, aren't we? We're not far off. I am nearly done now. So just put that on there. Oops. So good job I don't swear. Remember, everybody, I'm gonna quickly show you the stamps again at the end. But remember, don't order, because people do this every time. When I get to Hochanda, people have already bought things before I've gone live, and I don't think you get the discount. I don't think you get the discount applied until until the show goes live. So please don't order them from Hochanda until I'm live, because I don't think you'll get the benefit of the discounts. So let's just cut these out quickly. I think I'm right in saying that. And then we're going to add some of that lovely blue mist glitter. You would take a bit more time doing this, but I'm trying to get this done now because I don't want you all nodding off. They're fab, aren't they? Sorry everybody, I'm just cutting out. I've got to concentrate. Right, I'll give you a little tip for glittering the edges of these, because normally, as you know, I'm going to take a photo of the rubbish on my other desk when I'm finished, because you won't believe how much there is. There's a quicker way to glitter the edges of these if you're not using Diamond Dazzle. So remember, this is the Blue Mist. The Blue Mist Superfine Glitter. I'm going to put my foam tape on first. Oops. We are nearly done. Quickie glue pen. And I'm just going to go around the edges. It's one of the advantages of fine glitter. Quickie glue pens are perfect for it. Okay. Oh. Isn't that pretty? Okay, and then we'll just do the, whilst I've got the glitter out, oops, I'm just going to do the edges of the main image. I'm going to pop it on my card first, and then I don't need to worry about it drying. Ooh, that was lucky. Chrissy, I'll only be 5-10 minutes now. We're nearly done. It's just assembling, finishing touches. Apologies if you've got my head in, but I'm trying to look over. Marvellous. So I'm just poking the edges of the dial, and I'm just going to quickly do the edges with the Quickie glue pen. I'm only doing the very edge. Can I just tell you as well, while we're looking at the border, when I was cutting this border I'd run out of my white card because I chopped it all for the demo today, and the only cardstock I could find that I got scraps of was 300 GSM. So that border has been cut from a 300 GSM cardstock, and I thought I would struggle with it, but it cut first time. It takes a lot to impress me these days. Right, done with the glitter for now. For now. Right, daisies are going on. And I am going to do them with gel. So now obviously that looks fab the way it is, but as soon as you pop the flowers on and you've got the plain colour, oh, I love this part. How fabulous is that? I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I love these stamps. They were well worth the effort. Look at that. Come on, Phil, get your act together. I think I've chopped a petal off. Never mind, you can't tell. Is that not just absolutely gorgeous? So what it does now is the flowers, because I've left the flowers plain, it breaks up all the background, the busyness of the background that's going on, and it draws your eye to them. And then we can have the sentiments now. So I'm going to follow Julia's advice, because it was Julia that suggested to do them how I did them last night. Yep, we'll go with that. So although I've got foam tape on there, I am still going to put a bit of glue gel on. So remember, when you're popping your sentiments on, try and ignore the frame that's around it and just try and keep your words straight. If you keep the words straight, the rest will sort itself out. Does that look straight? Yeah, it is. And the last one, oops. And we are done. Just make sure they're straight, and they are. And we are done. Look at that, 1 hour and 26 minutes. I think that was bloody marvellous. Okay, so I'll just show you the dimension that's on there. So you've got the edges of the dies poking. Oops. Now for some reason, I don't know whether you can hear me. I don't know whether you can hear me, but my screen's just popped up saying we're having trouble playing this video. So just stay where you are. I'm going to see if I can restart it. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Let me just try again. I think it must be Facebook that's having an issue. Can anybody hear me? So you can hear me, but you can't see me. Right, so can you see the screen? Yes, you can see the screen and you can hear me. Right, okay. So I can't see anything. I've got a big black screen in front of me, so I don't know what you're saying. It just says to me that we've got trouble playing the video. So I'm going to carry on as if you can still see me. I'll bring the other card in. So I don't know what you can see. Hopefully you can see how different they look. I absolutely love these stamps. Absolutely love them. Treat yourself to a couple of acrylic paints. It's dead easy to do, and although these are slightly grungy, mixed media, they're still very pretty. I can't see anything, I've just got a black screen in front of me, but as long as you can see. You'll have to tell me if I need to go up or back. So I'm going to quickly just flick through the stamps again, and then I better go because I can't see anything. So it's a bit strange talking to a black screen. So I'm just going to move those out of the way, and I'll quickly flick through the stamps again. So I will give away the card that I've just made after my shows next weekend, so probably a week on Monday. So I'll quickly flick through these. Is that in the right position? I'm going to assume it is. So you've got the lilies. So this is the Weekend Wow, the Floramusica medley. So you've got the lilies, the iris, which I'm going to make later today, and then we've got the rose. Then we've got the hydrangeas, which is one of my favourites. That's going to be amazing to colour in. Colours I'll show you in a minute. Then you've got the dandelions, which obviously you're going to be able to use for everything. And although these are floral, you can see that these are going to work. Bev, September, and then you've got the daisies, which is the one that I've just used. Yeah. And then you've also got your two, I've not put them away, but you've got your two sentiment sets. Please let me know whether you want me to do the rest as a collection. I didn't, but I think I should have done. So just let me know, and then I'll probably bring them in at some point. So that's that. So I'm not going to show you anything else that's being released next week because I need to have a couple of surprises. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. We've done something slightly different. treat yourself to a couple of acrylic paints. Doesn't matter what colours. The colours on here for you that I used were Victorian Velvet and peeled paint. And the paints that I used, let me just get them. So Victorian Velvet and peeled paint were the oxides, and the paints that I used was the same pink, the Samba pink, and the, what's that called, Citrus Margarita. Obviously I didn't pay $4.99, I just nicked them out of the shop. So Citrus Margarita and Samba pink, and the other one was Sea Turtle, which is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, yes Bev. So right, I'll leave you there because it's still got a black screen on my computer, so I can't see anything. Do you know what? We have trouble every week with something to do with Facebook. So there are your 2 cards. I hope you've enjoyed them. I hope you love the stamps as much as I do. Don't order them until I'm live on air to make sure you get the proper price. But I mean, look at that, same sentiments, but how different they look. So thank you everybody for putting up with me. I will read your messages later when I've got a coffee, and I'll try and answer you. I'll draw a winner for this card a week on Monday, so after the weekend wow shows. So thank you everybody, have a lovely rest of the weekend, stay safe, save up for next weekend, and I'll see you next week. So thank you everybody, bye.